Welcome to Geeks Corner. I'm Mr. Daps.
And I'm Hayley.
And no Johnny Five tonight. that was a little weird. Actually, it's kind of sad that he's not here. He had a friend that he I believe he worked at camp with that passed away this week, and the memorial service is tonight. So our condolences go out to everybody that knew him and Johnny Five. And if you want to leave a comment for him of support, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. But do it after the episode because these comments actually don't disappear once the episode's done streaming. So come back and leave a comment for Johnny or tweet him or whatever it is that you feel like. And I really can't ask you why you're Hayley because you're always Hayley. Yeah, so let's just dive right in. Oh, but before we go any further, this is the time where you turn your webcam on and we want you to record yourself watching this episode and then tag us or whatever you do to reply. I don't know how they do video replies anymore. And Mikey really likey brought that up, Tyler?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So whatever works, just reply by watching and put it on our Facebook page. That works. We have a Geeks Corner Facebook page. Let's use it. And we put a really fun video there today of Grover and Cookie Monster singing Geek songs. Totally worth it. Avengers, Doctor Who, you name it. It's great. In response to Elmo singing. So let's move right into this. Candlelight was this last weekend. We were there both Saturday night and Sunday night. We were working. But it was, we had other people that were there, so we can talk to our audience. It'll be great. But we were there both Saturday and Sunday night as Beau Bridges, who's on Twitter, so follow him. And if you ever want to come on the show, Mr. Bridges, do you call Beau?
No, Beau.
Yeah. Well, I think if your name is Beau, I feel like you're a first name kind of person.
I think he's part of the Bridges family.
Beau Bridges.
Yeah, he's like family either way.
B squared.
You're always welcome to come sit in the TARDIS. Yeah, he's a geek. He was on all the sci-fi shows. But yeah, he's totally geek. I know he watches Doctor Who. And you're welcome to come and what?
Who?
Yes.
Got it.
And you're welcome to come in and be a guest on the show and talk about your Candlelight experience or whatever else you want to talk about. I'd actually like to talk to him about the Thanksgiving promise, which is a family tradition to watch in my family. But this weekend, he was reading the story of Christmas. I thought he did a fantastic job. He had lots of energy and clearly, I think energy is a good word.
Yeah,
he was clearly passionate about it, and his Merry Christmas part where he shouted about it at the end, I thought was very fun. And have you ever seen Candlelight?
Yes.
Good.
Last year.
That's right.
That was the only time I had ever seen it.
And what did you think?
I liked it, then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't. Kind of sad that I missed it.
Was it worth the wait then? Okay, because we usually get there really early so that we had a decent spot for filming, and then we hang out all day and we play games on the iPads. And I don't know what we did last year, but we always have something
I feel like
going
we showed up late in the game.
You might have. You actually did, I think. You and Tyler showed up right before it started or something. What did Mikey say?
By the way, I'll be using a better camera than a webcam for watching the show.
Fantastic. We look forward to seeing you on a better camera. I'm sure everybody wishes we want better cameras too, so that they can see us now better. I don't know if anybody wants to see you better, but they might want to see you better. Candlelight's here is done for the year, but over in Florida, they still go for another 20 days. The whole tree moved up. Hey, we have a Christmas tree this week. Toys R Us, $5. That's the geek way to do things. But it goes through right to the end of the month, right?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, and we've got some fantastic narrators. I saw that Levar Burton of Star Trek fame was narrating yesterday. Is he narrating today too?
He was.
He was? Oh yeah, it's a time difference then. But so if you're Star Trek geek, that's pretty cool. We know a bunch of other cool people. We know lots of Star Trek people.
Yeah.
Interesting. The story of Christmas is told.
Well, Whoopi Goldberg was
That's what I
over
said.
the weekend. So.
Wouldn't it be awesome if they had Patrick's? Maybe Patrick's Okay. Sure? Okay. Who would you like to see narrate? Any actor, actress, celebrity, non-celebrity?
No.
But who do you like currently? Who's your kind of like fan favorite?
Is there any passion? I don't know. I think in Florida they had Jodie Benson, and I'm like, she's cool. That'd be cool to see.
That would
Like,
actually
that's
be
actually
really
a
cool.
thing that's happened, so I'll go with that.
That's a good one.
Instead of picking anyone.
Yeah, who would you pick?
Tough. I would go between Jamie Lee Curtis
Uh-huh.
and Martin Mack.
Oh, okay. all celebrities around the world. Really? Okay.
I just first person thing in my mind was Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Oh, that'd be a great one.
I was thinking it'd be wonderful with James Earl Jones.
James
Oh,
Earl Jones
yeah.
was that before, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day. Yeah, so James Earl Jones has done it before. Thank you for fixing our sound, Tyler. I'm sure they'll all appreciate it. But yeah, I guess that's good enough for Candlelight. Let's move on
Okay.
and freeze the park now, because that's what we're going to do.
I can talk about Frozen.
December 20th, Frozen is unofficially taking over Disneyland.
Yes.
January 7th, it's officially taking over Disneyland. And they're gonna bring this giant helicopter in that's full of snow, and they're just gonna dump it, right?
Just Elsa's powers.
Elsa's power, yeah, which is a giant helicopter. So that I could hear.
Hello.
Thank you. So first off, they're gonna have a Frozen sing-along celebration, much like they have in Florida.
Yes. and
Did you
I
do that
will-
in Florida?
Yes, we went.
All right,
and
tell
it
me
was
about it.
great. It was so fun. I loved it a lot. The historians are hilarious, and it's just like a really fun, good show.
So can you describe what happens?
You go and you sit down after waiting for at least an hour,
Oh boy.
and you just sit down and get your seat, and then it starts. And the historians are basically retelling you the whole Frozen story while Anna tries to find Elsa, and they're funny. And you sing all the songs, and it's a grand time for everyone.
So are they kind of like Mr. Smythe and Mr. Jones
Yes,
ish?
and definitely that same sort of humor.
Okay.
I would think like they're genuinely funny.
Okay.
I love Smythe and Jones so much. So
Yeah,
they're similar.
I love that. Yeah, which is not the next on the list, but they are bringing Frozen
Yes.
to the Royal Theater. Is that what it's
Yes.
called? Over at the Fantasy Fair, which is interesting now that you say that, because it's going to be almost the same. Like, I'll be curious to see how they tell the story different and have different jokes.
Yeah,
Because if it's a similar storytelling style, you would think they could fall into the same jokes pretty easily.
I wonder
Maybe they will.
how many, like, if Anna and Elsa will be in the Royal Theater, like
Mhm.
just them. Okay, just them.
Who just
That's what I'm. Because Kristoff is a part of the sing along.
Right.
So if Kristoff isn't there, I feel like that would make it different.
Yeah. That would.
And the sisters don't come on for the sing along very much, like because Anna
Is it kind of an end
actively
of the
trying
thing
to-
where they come up and they're like,
Yeah,
"Hey, we're
'cause
here," and goodbye?
It starts and then they're like, "Where's Elsa?" So then they have to go find her, and they're like killing time telling the story. So this will actually have the girls involved, probably. I'm assuming.
That would probably make sense. And then right next door in stage 17, they're going to have Olaf's Snowfest, they're calling it, which is bringing the world of Arendelle, or Kingdom of Arendelle, to life in a box. And so it's like a giant snow box instead of a sandbox. And
They
so,
have that in Florida too, the snow.
so what's that
playground.
like?
Well, it was really tiny there, and it was in Wandering Oaken's
Mhm.
reading those things. So it was tiny, and you could see the line for it. And I feel like stage 17 is huge.
Did they have snow?
Probably, yeah,
Okay, so they did have snow. And,
yeah.
and my question is, did anybody try to have a snowball fight?
No one was in the thing. They were like cleaning it out, I think, for the next group to
Oh,
come in.
fixed.
So we didn't even see anything. It's
'Cause
pretty empty.
that's the thing that popped into my head the moment I saw this. I was like, how long is it going to be before they have a snowball fight?
I'm
like-
hoping that it's like a really big area of snow
Every-
and that can happen.
I just think that's going to be an issue. I'm like,
Because I want to have a snowball.
like if I were 13, 14, 10, 12, 5, 27, I would have had a snowball fight
It would be
there.
great to just have a constant snowball fight.
Yeah.
like 1 hour
two
a day,
sides.
just snowball fight.
Yeah, 1 hour a day, you have to sign a waiver.
Get a return ticket.
You probably have
Keep
to sign
that.
a waiver either way, huh?
Keep that instead of Dancing with Disney. Like, bring that back in the summer because that would be great to have snow.
Oh, snowball
the
fight in the summer? That would be so cool.
I want to throw a snowball after Zelda.
And
Combine them all.
yeah, just throw everything in there and just let it go. It'll be mayhem and it'll be awesome.
Hey.
Waka waka.
Yes. Olaf is going to be meeting there, or they're meeting guests, so you can take photos there and get warm hugs. If you snow, though, is it really a warm hug?
But he likes one.
But he loves summer.
He likes warm hugs. That doesn't mean he's giving warm hugs. He could just
Okay.
be receiving.
Over at the animation building.
Just being real.
Sure. Anna and Elsa's royal welcome is coming, and you can. I'm curious to see what this ends up looking like, but
Yeah.
basically, it sounds like another royal hall that they're gonna have the two, or I guess the princess and the queen meeting, and they're adding the Frozen into the video cycle. So that'll be fun. You can lay on the ground and watch the videos go around, and then be like, "Hey, I know them," and everybody else. But it's true. We know all the other ones, right?
Yeah.
I'll just be curious to see if they can make it into the final montage with all of the castles. At the end of the loop, if they're going to throw in the Arendelle castle,
nice.
or if
I
it'll,
love all the castle scenes.
or will they throw in the ice castle? I don't know. There's a question. We'll find out. We'll stay in DCA for a minute more. Freeze the Night, a family dance party, is coming to the stage once inhabited by the Mad Tea Party band. It'll be a DJ. And are there a couple dancers or something too? Is that what I saw? It looks like dancers. And so it'll be a dance party thing with DJs. So it's kind of almost like a Frozen electronica, right? Is that what it looks like to people? Yeah. So those that loved electronica and miss it, you can have a Frozen electronica. And actually, electronics work really good when it's cold. So
I'm just really sad they didn't take the opportunity to call it Iced Tea Party.
Iced Tea Party. We can start a thing. It's the Iced Tea Party. That'd be fantastic. We already talked about Fantasy Fair, the Frozen stage show, and Storybook Land. They're also going to have a new section of the canal boats, which will be Frozen, Arendelle, all that stuff, and that will be replacing the old mill area.
Have they updated more princesses into there, or Frozen the
A
only
few
one?
years ago, they've added Aladdin, and they added. What is the most recent one?
Aladdin from 20.
Is that the one? Is that the most?
years ago?
That was that long ago?
Yeah.
Oh, I just aged.
92.
I just aged myself.
92,
I'm just
I can
wondering,
remember pre-Aladdin.
If they're
Wow.
updating it, like Rapunzel's Tower should be somewhere.
That
if
would be.
it's not
I would
already,
like to see
'cause
that.
would be
Or maybe down by the
good.
bayou.
Yeah.
I don't know
So
where
you
they
know,
put
just
it. But
more people.
Are you talking about where they're putting it?
yeah, I did.
Did you say? Sorry, I missed.
Yeah, I
it.
did.
was
I said
confused.
where they're putting it in the old mill.
Yep.
And that's been verified by Disney, and that comes straight from the Disney Parks blog. So we're not saying anything that's not a surprise.
But I wanted to do some comments. If you
Oh.
don't mind.
Please read some comments.
All right,
Read
so-
them loudly.
So Danny says hello from Tokyo.
Hello, Danny from Tokyo. Tokyo.
Tokyo.
It's the new Mater short.
And then he asks, "What's the co-host name?" Haley.
That'd be Haley.
It's me. Hi.
Haley is our co-host.
And then there was something else. Where was it? They were talking about snow, and our Mikey really he says he's only seen snow twice in his life. And
What a
he says
tragedy.
Florida
Have you
doesn't
seen
really
snow?
Yeah.
So that makes
Okay.
sense.
I love the snow. I miss the snow.
And then there
Oh,
was
yeah,
the
that's
I
right.
love me some iced tea comment, and then hot cocoa for everyone.
Woohoo! With peppermint?
We'll get to that.
Sure.
And then Jason is awesome. Says I would rather have the old mill in the canal.
Yeah, it's one of those hard things where I think a lot of people just don't know what it is anymore, and they don't even have that segment in the World of Color anymore.
No.
Do you remember when it first came out? They had the old mill in the World of Color segment, and it's just one of those sad things that Disney's always changing, and you can have a little known cartoon that used really cool technology for its time, or you can have the biggest blockbuster movie from animation history, and I mean it's kind of one of those hard things, but you kind of have to go with the biggest blockbuster from animation history, because that's now a bigger historical moment than the first time. Was it first time multiplane camera? Did I get that right?
I think so.
First cartoon with the multiplane
Sounds
camera,
right.
something like that. Comments, let me know what that is. I know somebody out there has that statistic right off the top of their head.
The good thing about Roller Color though is it's so easy to add new segments into it though.
Mhm.
So like, I mean, it could come back.
Yeah, you never
It
know.
would be hard to just go.
Well, and you never know, they might like throw it somewhere else in the park, or I don't know. I'm sure it'll show up at the archives or something, because those are really cool little models, I think. And I've always thought it'd be cool to have one. You know what they could do if they don't want them? I have this railway in my backyard,
That'd be really cool.
and we could have the old mill in the backyard, and the train could go by, and it'd be fantastic, and that would be appreciated by all. And we could have a video on Geeks Corner of the train going by the old mill. So, are we frozen out? Are we frozen on Frozen?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm sure we'll have more as we get videos and more information about all of this as it gets closer and closer. And we'll see what happens. I really have no expectations. I kind of think it'll be cool, and I'm really curious to see what happens. It'll definitely be the longest line to the Muppet Theater in the last few years, sadly. It's true.
Yeah.
I was probably one of the most frequent people to visit the Muppet Theater. Yeah. Tyler and I on Sunday nights were regulars at Muppet Theater. Let's move on. Let's talk about some movies.
Okay.
Benedict Cumberbatch is Doctor Strange. You don't know anything about this, so I'm going to ask the internet, what do you think about Benedict Cumberbatch becoming Doctor Strange for Marvel? You do know who he is, though, right?
I know who
He was in
and-
Sherlock and Star Trek.
I know
and-
of him.
Okay. Have you seen any of his movies?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
know what he looks like.
Tyler, get to
I'm
work.
on Tumblr. I know that much.
That's
Tumblr really likes
true.
him.
Tumblr
but
loves Benedict
I don't.
Cumberbatch. I follow a couple of those things, and they tweet, they tumble more than anybody, I think.
Yep.
I actually think it's a really interesting choice, just because he does have
Is
depth.
it confirmed? Is
Mhm.
that? Oh,
Yeah, Marvel
okay.
posted it. He's really good at making characters deep and kind of that introspective thing and really becoming the character, which I think will be great because that's something that Marvel's done a really consistently good job with, is creating characters that are believable. And if you don't have a believable character, the franchise is going to fall apart, because that's the moment where you go, okay, it's just a comic book. That was fun, but this is DC. But it's true, right?
Yeah.
It happens. Or Sony or somebody, maybe. It's Spider-Man. That's what it is. It's Spider-Man. The moment you create that poorly cast character and poorly executed. So I think he's going to be fantastic. I don't know what I think. Jessica Jones, I forgot anybody remember who got that role?
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, it was a surprising one for me, and I'm forgetting her name. I'm looking it up. But it's the Netflix show, and they cast her this week as well. Kristen Ritter. Yeah. And so that'll yeah. And so that'll be an interesting one. We'll see what happens with that. And we'll probably have Murray come on and talk about that a little bit more, just because he's into that a little bit more than I am, and definitely more than you are. But
Yeah.
maybe
Sorry. I don't know why I'm here for this.
That's okay. We planned the show first, and then things happen.
And then I
So-
just show up.
yeah, it's okay. This one I'm actually really excited about. James Bond, they announced the name of the next movie is Spectre, which is fantastic because it really is a blast from the past for James Bond. And it really kind of pulls all of the franchise together, because you go back to the 60s and Spectre was a huge part of the Sean Connery James Bond. And then to pull that into the 20-teens James Bond, it's really kind of this full circle. And the one funny part I think about this is they're billing this as a look into James Bond's past to define him for the future, which is kind of what they've done for the last 3 movies. Is this the 4th one? No. Yeah, this is the 4th one that Daniel Craig's done, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall were all a look in the history of the origins of James Bond, and they're doing it again for a 4th time. But it's worked pretty well. 2 of the 3, I think. Quantum of Solace wasn't my favorite, but I'm really looking forward to seeing that. They've got some fantastic casts that I'm just going to skip completely because
Sorry.
it'll be all good. But it'll be fun because you're going to go with us. We're gonna watch
Sure.
James Bond movies,
Mm.
right, Tyler? Yeah. Tyler's sitting there going like this. Do we have any comments, by the way, on James Bond? Because this one is awesome. They did unveil a new Aston Martin DB10. It looks awesome. I'm a little bit sad that he didn't buy a new old one, because I like the vintage
It
Aston
hasn't
Martin.
happened yet. You don't know.
That's true.
It happened.
That's true. I do feel like this one was the first one, though. I felt like we were going back to kind of the Pierce Brosnan era, where they're like, oh, it's a new James Bond movie. We need to have a new Aston Martin. It's like, no, I want the old one. Like, I really liked that connection with the past. Like, you don't know.
I don't.
It's
I'm
okay.
sorry.
Because the new car could get blown up in the first 5 minutes, and they're like, well, better get the
It
vintage
won't,
one.
though, because they've already said it does some cool stuff in the movie. So it's going to make it at least 10 minutes. No, I'm betting if I were the guys in charge, I would have the car last through like 9/10 of the film and then have it get blown up, and then somehow he gets an old car again.
So Mikey has a comment.
Mikey has a comment.
He
Go
says
ahead, Mikey.
He's glad they're bringing back Spectre and tying that into Quantum. That's
Yeah.
all he said so far.
Do you have any predictions about the cast without giving spoilers, Mikey really likey? And just throw it in there and we'll get back to it whenever you say it. But there are some potential things with some of the naming of cast members that could really talk about basically James Bond's surrogate's father. It could be one of the cast members. I think it's Christopher Waltz could end up being that guy, or the guy that was his surrogate father's son, or like there's a lot of different things that it could turn out. And you know what? You shouldn't feel too bad because I'm pretty sure Johnny Five wouldn't know about that either.
Okay. Great.
It's you have to watch all of the movies and get this lore. And someday I'm going to read the books. Has anybody read the books?
No.
I really should read the books because I think that'd be interesting. I think they're all short stories. All right. Are there any comments from Mikey? I know we're probably
not
like
yet.
5 minutes ahead, but that's okay. So Christmas is in full swing at Disneyland.
And I can talk about
I
this.
know, because you helped me write it. I added it in just for you. So we thought since Johnny isn't here, we'd still do 5 things that you cannot miss at Christmas time at the Disneyland Resort. And the first one, obviously, is...
A Christmas Fantasy.
Do you have a
Parade.
favorite part of the Christmas Fantasy Parade?
I like the Stepsisters.
Oh, it's a good part.
Yeah.
And I'm very partial to the Trumpeteers toy soldiers. I just think they sound fantastic. But the Stepsisters and Lady Tremaine are absolutely hilarious as well.
Mhm.
And they're probably the most fun to take pictures of because you
Yes.
never know what you're going to get on any given day.
Yeah.
And
I haven't taken pictures of it yet this year, but that's always the most exciting, just the whole princess unit. And then
you never know what's going to happen there. What do you think of the new float with, well, it's not a new float, but the replacement of Mrs. Claus with Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Daisy? Really, Donald and
since
Daisy
I
got moved.
haven't seen it in its entirety yet.
Mhm.
Like,
Have you
I
seen that
don't-
float?
I have, I think. I don't. It didn't like make that big of an impact. I guess if
honestly,
I don't remember it.
I was surprised at how it was different and it took a little getting used to, but it's not the end of the world. I would like to just see all of them on there. Like, I think you could put Donald, Daisy, Mickey, Minnie, and Mrs. Claus
Yeah.
on there. You know, she could be up there hanging the star or something. You know, we don't need Duffy. Right? I mean, that would be awesome. Mrs. Claus right up there, sitting there, waving at everybody. Yeah. Hey, it would be the parade everybody remembered. It would be
That's the one
amazing.
where she broke her hip.
I didn't say she got hurt. I just said she stood up there. The second thing you cannot miss at the Disneyland Resort during Christmas time is...
I just get to say all the time.
Sure, why not?
It's Believe in Holiday Magic, right?
Yeah, and it's,
Fireworks.
yes, it's the
I don't know
fireworks.
any fireworks show
And-
names.
You can't say the fireworks at Christmas time without mentioning the snow also.
Yes, that is exciting.
That happens right after the fireworks, and it comes down, and it's a reminiscent of the Midwest or northern United States or world, anywhere they get snow and is nice and cold, or reminiscent of Frozen. Bum, 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 bum. I need that sound effect. That would be the moment for it. But yeah, I was actually really surprised they didn't put a Frozen song in after Believe in Holiday Magic this year. Like, I don't know what song it would have been, but I really expected to hear Idina Menzel start singing something as it snowed. Ryder's like, no.
Because it would have to completely retold the show.
Stranger things have happened.
That's true.
Stranger things have happened. It could happen. Let's stop right there while we're ahead. The next thing,
World of Color.
Winter Dreams. Have
Yes.
you seen this year's?
Not this year's.
I actually really thought they did a nice job retooling
too,
last
yeah.
year's, and it flowed a whole lot better, and it didn't feel so piecemeal. Because last year it kind of jumped around,
It did.
I
and
really liked it last year.
Oh,
So
then
I'm
you'll
sure
love
I'm
this
sure it'll
year.
be better. Like
'Cause
I
I
like
felt
Winter
like it-
Dreams more than regular World of Color.
yeah, it flows a lot better. And I really felt like they took what was great of last year, and they kind of, well, they did. They reordered it a bit so that it worked better.
Mhm.
And so it just kind of had this really nice wintry, Christmassy flow. And it just, like, the sing-along made more sense to me. Like,
It did.
Last year, it kind of felt like it was tagged in at the end. And this year, they moved it up about a third. And it was like, oh, this kind of makes sense. And then it was fun. And all were happy and merry. And you got to see it at the Disney Parks blog meetup. And that was pretty cool, too. In the rain.
Oh, no, it didn't rain.
Oh,
during
it wasn't
the show.
raining? It didn't rain during the show.
No, after the show.
After the show, it
Yeah.
rained. And before the show.
Mhm.
This was yours, next one.
This was my suggestion. It's a small world
And-
being all lit up in its magical, pretty lights. It's
No.
one of my favorite parts. It probably is my
Outside or inside or both?
definitely both, but outside particularly because it has like that little display every 15 minutes or so.
That's
where-
true. I forgot
yeah,
about that.
I get to see that a lot. So that happens.
So what?
and then the
Tell
lights go up.
people what that is, because I know a lot of people don't
yes.
actually know about this.
They every 15 minutes basically they have projections up on It's a Small World while the lights go down so you can see them all and it's just fun Christmassiness and then the lights go back on and then everyone cheers every single time.
It is funny. There could be
It's
like
super fun.
3 people out there in the rain and they'll still cheer.
There are
Yes.
more than 3 people around It's a Small World every single day though. It is
You know what? I
crazy.
was there on a rainy night several years ago. It was 3 or 4 years ago, and it was like pouring. Like we went on the Mark Twain, and there was this much water on the bottom deck. It was fantastic.
Oh my god.
And like it was pouring out the sides. It was great. We were drenched, and we went, and we were the only 3 people that watched the Small World show, minus the stage manager or whatever they're called that was sitting there calling it in, like, and the person going, "Are you guys gonna watch the show?" Yeah. Okay, I guess we can start it now. I was like, okay, cool. And literally, there was like no. I bet there was less than 1,000 people in the park. It was pouring. Like it was a late sunny night, and we were the only crazies there. And I met Tycho that night on the monorail, and she's become a friend over the last 5 or 6 years, whatever that was. Yeah, don't miss Small World. And then the last one, we kind of crammed everything together,
Couldn't pick just one.
but we
one
started
to
with
it. Just Buena Vista Street and seeing Santa, but then we just turned it into Buena Vista Street as a whole because it is really pretty and magical and there's lots to see, so you need to check out all of it.
yeah, and they have the Christmas carolers, Buena Vista Street,
I love the bell ringers.
bell ringers, thank
Yes.
you, and Santa and his elves, and the tree lighting ceremony
lighting
is
is
a
really cute.
must. It's around 5, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Maybe 5 before 5 one night, is that right? 5, okay. But you get to see all the
5 today.
characters, all the citizens,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm forgetting his name, the bell ringers, and then the host guy. Is it Bobby?
Bobby.
Bobby. Bobby comes and hosts the whole thing, and the tree lights up, and it's beautiful.
Yep.
And then Red Car Trolley Newsboys have their
Those
little
are cute.
variation. They get to wear Santa hats. That's always
I feel
fun.
like there was something else I noticed today and I completely forgot what it was.
With them?
Just anything on Buena Vista
Oh,
Street. There
okay.
was something I thought about. I don't know. They have more decorations this year, which were fun for photos.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's fun. All the snowflake things, those weren't there before, right?
Yeah, those are
All the
new.
snow-
They have
the snowflakes
snowflakes
on
that
the
go, and they go the entire parade route.
Oh.
Yeah, it's cool, and they're
Yeah.
kind of themed in some areas a little bit. They also make the candy canes on Buena
Yes.
Vista Street. They also make them on Main Street, and I feel like we almost need to have a 6th one because Cars Land is really
Yeah.
pretty.
I was like,
I was
I
like,
remember that.
it was
too.
that like Cars Land or Buena Vista Street or
See everything.
yeah, catch all these things, huh?
Jingle Jangle.
Jingle Jangle's cool, but I wouldn't put it in the top 5. It didn't quite make the
Not
cut of
anymore.
top 5.
The Billies are gone.
Yeah, Billy's would have definitely been up there. There's also a Jingle Cruise that didn't make the top 5, but that's honorable mention as well. It's way better than last year. Have you been on it this year?
Not yet.
Oh, you got to go on it this year.
We should have gone today.
It's all about the fruitcake. I'll just leave it there, and you can't go wrong when it's all about the fruitcake, right? Sure, why not? So those are our top 5 things. Do you have a couple comments for us
some
before we go?
Christmas comments.
Christmas
Okay.
comments.
First of all, from Danny.
All right, Danny.
Says, my niece Natalie is watching you guys from LA right now, and she's wondering where Haley got her beautiful Christmas outfit.
This is a dress basically from Kohl's, and then the skirt I just layered over it, and it's vintage. So
All right.
Hey, vintage tips from Haley tonight.
And then Mikey responds with the James Bond thing, saying he doesn't like making predictions. He wants to be purposely left in the dark.
All right, we won't tell you anything, Mikey.
Asked what everyone's favorite thing during Disneyland is, and Danny says meeting Santa at the ranch, and also It's a Small World.
Wouldn't it be cool if they added elves at the ranch also? I think that would be
having
great.
elves anywhere is just like a
With an
fun
elf.
Yeah.
idea.
Added magic, especially when they hand out candy canes.
Yeah.
Because without the candy canes, yeah. Was there another Christmas comment?
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
And Mikey really like, he says, I know here in Disney World, the best part is the Osborne family spectral dancing lights.
Oh.
They should do that
We
in the
saw
Hollywood
that.
area.
I agree.
Yes.
Come on, Osborns, let's do it. I know you don't really sponsor it anymore, but right?
Well, they sponsor from Sylvania, so it all works.
Yeah, Sylvania. Okay, that's what it is.
And Jason Austin likes the poinsettias around the park.
Yeah, those are pretty,
Um,
especially around the partner statue.
Mikey also brought up World Showcase. They do a show in each country about each place's version of Santa.
Yeah, I was seeing that
We
online.
missed all the good
Yeah.
Christmas stuff.
I told
Go
him
back
that.
right now.
Okay.
But Jason also wanted to know, he said, I don't know if you guys talked about it in the past episodes, but what do you think about the magical cancellation? Unless he means, remember Jim Fincher, I can't remember. I don't
Wait,
know.
which cancellation?
Magical? I'm not sure if he means remember instead of magical. Fireworks show?
I have no comment on it right now until it's official. As far as we know, it's just believed right now officially, and so when Disney tells us it's completely gone, I'll grieve then. Actually, to be completely honest, if we're talking about Remember, I really like the show, but personally, I would like to see a show that takes you on more of an emotional journey instead of a physical journey around the park, and so that's what I would like to see if and when that is replaced. How's that for response?
Good.
Good.
All right,
And
we
that's-
are out of time. It is 10:02. We went over, so you're welcome. We gave you 2 free minutes. In 2 weeks, we will be filming on a Monday night because that will be our Christmas edition holiday special thing.
Spectacular.
Spectacular it is.
Extravagance.
We're already working on guests. It's going to be hilarious, crazy, and insane, just like every other year. Come on. And we will be live streaming it for the first time ever, I believe. And it will be an hour long. We'll be filming it on Monday at 9 o'clock. I think that's the 22nd. So put that in your calendars now, save it, get your friends, whoever else to watch. And that night for sure, we want to get video replies because the week after we'll be replying to the replies. So to make this work, we need your help. And yeah, I think that's all we got, right? All right. So we are completely out of time because we're now 3 minutes past 10 o'clock. So we will see you around the corner.
Bye.
Geek out.
You go.
Geek out. No, Johnny. Bye, Johnny.
It says stopping.
Okay.
I don't know if it stopped, just says
I don't know.
stopping.
I edit this part out anyway. Well done.
So Jason said, sorry, it was remembered, not magical.
I figured.
And then he said, good response. And